It's a decent one, Steve. I go all out, Steve.
All out.
You don't
I
fuck
don't.
around. On Fortean Slip. But
Are you excited, Steve?
About what?
About the episode.
There's no cake.
How am I supposed to get you cake? I can
There's
barely get me cake.
Huh? Why
How
not?
am I supposed to get it for you? Explain that to me.
There's places you can order it from and have it sent to me.
I'm gonna have the cake fucking sent to you.
I don't see a problem with that.
I mean, if somebody maybe, did a friend a favor with a certain handheld gaming item, maybe they'd be eating cake right now.
Yeah, maybe there'd be cake at your house.
I got a DS Lite I can send you.
Matt, does that sound like a 3DS, Matt?
Yeah, not at all. I mean, I got a couple of those collecting dust.
Yeah. I don't know what you expect, Steve. I mean, any other time you want to talk DSs, we can talk cake. Delivery. Fuck, I'll get you Cheesecake Factory delivered.
Oh,
Never had that, so I don't know if I like it or not. I do like cheesecake, though.
Jesus, Matt.
I mean, it's
What
pink.
in the Christ?
look at him.
Yeah, it's a fucking DS Lite. It's a tiny little thing.
It's pink.
I don't want that. I don't want a pink one.
He wants the man one.
You had one exactly what I wanted when I was there. You could have just, you know what? You didn't even have to ship it to me. You could have just gone, Chris, here you go. Here you go, Bob. Here you go. Here you go. Get on it. Right down in there.
The stylus even matches. Look at that.
Oh, look at you. You know what you can do with that stylus?
I'm just going to play DS while you guys are talking. Go ahead.
All right. Are we ready to start
turn
this
this damn
fucking
thing on.
jamboree tonight? There, gentlemen. Steve, you ready to mute?
I'm going to play a game.
No, why don't you mute, you fuck? And maybe I'll get you some cake. If you're lucky.
Steve Alcorn's a fine investigator.
Oh, fuck off.
This is the Fortean Slip with your host, Chris York.
I don't need porn, Chris. I have a good woman.
Listen, I have a good woman. I still watch porn.
Co-host, Steve Alcorn.
You are the top shit in Bigfootery if you get the invitation.
Oh, are
I've
you?
gotten the invitation 2 years in a row now, Chris.
Wow, not me.
And sometimes special guest, Matt Knapp.
It's part growing older, maturing. Makes me more dignified and stuff.
Okay, George Washington.
I opted for the
Is that what meth addicts say?
That make me more dignified. Taking on all things strange since 2013.
Wait a minute.
I don't know what the hell.
Are you saying that he's pregnant?
Possibly.
Was he implanted by one of these teenage aliens?
Did that happen to Arnold?
This device, which comes as part of Nintendo's Quality of Life initiative, is to
He's going to have kids running around banging their heads off bricks.
Yeah.
You're about to witness the strength of creep knowledge.
Good evening and welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 100. Steve plays Nintendo DS. Oh, do we get sound effects and everything?
Nintendogs.
Oh, I get to see its butt. Look at that. It's kind of cool. It's kind of neat. You having a good time, Steve?
No, I can't figure it out.
Can't figure out how to take care of a fucking dog?
Just, I've never played it before. Is that what you do? Is that like a Tamagotchi or something where you got to take care of the dog? And
Yeah, you walk the dog, feed the dog, raise the dog, train the dog, keep the dog shitting on your floor.
None of that sounds like fun.
That's what you do.
Why wouldn't you just get a real dog?
Because Nintendogs doesn't come with veterinary bills. That's
Good
why,
point.
Steve. You don't have to watch the Nintendog die a horrible death whilst a vet bleeds you for money.
What happens if you don't feed the dog on the game? Does it die?
It dies, and then you start a new dog.
Oh.
Brand new dog.
But does it die a horrible death? Because that'd be a cool game.
Could die a horrible death. Much like our old producer, Richard Allen, Ghost from Christmas Past.
Richard Allen died a horrible death?
Yeah, I did, Steve. But I have returned from the grave.
Reborn. He's like the phoenix rising from the ashes, Steve, doing his own Bigfoot news podcast where I can't manage to go without fucking cursing for more than fucking 3 weeks.
We had a good run at the beginning, and then you've sort of slumped recently. But I live in expectation.
Our old producer, Richard Allen. 6 years of doing this show, Richard. How long have you been listening?
Most of that. Started listening after you did the John Teeter episode, so pretty much the full 6 years. I missed the first show.
Yeah, so you started on the second episode.
Uh-huh.
That was back. I was looking back over the comments on the shows, and here's a name that popped up that I hadn't forgotten about, but it was Jim Payne.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever happened.
We're pretty sure Jim Payne passed away.
He died. His daughter made an announcement in the Squatch's Lounge.
Yeah,
I see.
so he it was sad to
I miss
see.
Jim Payne.
Jim
He
was
was good.
Jim
He
was
was-
a really big fan of the Fortean Slip. I'd have to say Jim was probably the first super fan of the Fortean Slip. He takes that mantle long before you, Richard.
Yeah, but now he's dead.
This is true. I mean, you can't argue with that shit. He is dead.
Richard, what'd you do? Go back to your old microphone, or are you rolling around in hay or something?
Yeah, he's got something going on. It was happening the other night too. I think it's ferrets crawling all over it.
Yep,
There
there
it
it
goes. There it goes.
One second.
Maybe it's a ghost. It's an EVP. There's going to be a new podcast coming out. We got to keep an eye on that. They could probably take a look at that.
There is?
Yeah.
Anybody I know?
I'll let
No.
Matt fill you. I'll let
No,
Matt
there's
fill you in.
not. We're not plugging it.
I still want to know.
Yeah, well,
It's gonna be beautiful.
Give me a hint.
I can't.
I will later. It's going to involve things you love, Steve.
Everything you love on one show.
Everything you've ever wanted in a show, you're going to have it. One place.
All of it?
It's going to be like, you know how they said like cable is going to bundle everything together. It's going to be beautiful. Do you remember those days? Yeah, it's going to be like that, Steve.
Well,
Back in the early days of cable.
we were too poor for cable back in those early days.
You know, fuck your family for not letting you have that beautiful thing.
Just fuck your family.
I didn't even know what MTV was until I graduated high school.
You sorry son of a bitch.
I know.
Yeah. So, what's new with Richard?
Are they from Maine?
Fuck off. I'm asking Richard a question.
I'm just trying to get an idea. Go ahead, Richard.
Not much is new with me, Chris. Just been working on my comic strip.
Yeah. Isn't your buddy like gone?
Oh, yes, yeah. Currently a guest of Her Majesty.
Hanging out
Hanging out
on the crown's dime.
on the ground. Yep.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it
He
is.
was telling me jail over there is a fucking treat compared to here.
Oh, I thought Never mind. I thought it was.
What, you
something
thought
totally
Gaz
different.
was hanging out in Buckingham Palace? He's
Well,
not.
you said.
Shoveling bread pudding into his mouth.
What kind of people do you hang out with, Richard? Well, never mind. Never mind.
They don't have jail over there. They have dungeons.
I didn't even know they had prison. Did they get tea in prison?
They do.
Mm.
Do they really?
Yeah, they get tea. You're allowed kettles in your pods. You're allowed TVs. It's absolute.
Because over there they don't have like real criminals like we do.
Dude.
They have people that just like, cause too many fights at the pub, so they have to go sleep it off and stuff like that.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's all the stabbings, but and
Wait, you don't have guns over there, right?
we do. Yeah, we do have guns.
Oh.
That is a misconception, Steve. There are guns.
Oh.
It's just not the same as it is here.
Oh. But people still stab each other. Even if you didn't have guns, you'd still have stabbings. Stabbers.
Yeah, we'd have stabbings. We have gun crime.
You at least
Fucking cargo vans, acid.
All that shit. Yeah.
Like the acid shit's fucking scary, man. The thought of just like somebody walking up to you and just throwing acid on your face, that's terrifying.
Well, we've got our troubles.
I mean, how do you defend against that? You
don't.
Especially here. Like if some cocksucker started that trend over here where everybody's carrying around one of those trendy ass water bottles, we'd be fucked.
Yeah, that'd be scary. Don't give anybody any fucking ideas, you dick.
Maybe I'll be the one that starts it.
Need that shit.
If it happens, it wasn't me.
Matt was a pioneer.
No, it's too late now. I think
ahead of his time. Matt Knapp. Nostradamus has nothing on Matt Knapp. The Simpsons have nothing on Matt Knapp. Are the Simpsons predicting fucking everything now?
Oh, we lost Richard already.
Yeah, he had, I'm telling you, his hamster wheel fucking internet. He had to bug out. But are the Simpsons gonna fucking predict everything now? I saw a post today. What was it? Homer pulling the heads off two people that fucking wound up being aliens. Like, when are we gonna see that? When are we gonna see Homer pulling fucking masks off aliens?
Pretty sure Scooby-Doo did it first.
Yeah, but they weren't aliens. They were pretending to be aliens.
Yeah, there's always like Old Man Withers or Smithers or some fucking bullshit. Richard, you joined us again. We thought you just took off so that you could, bug back out, listen to the show, and not worry about your internet.
No, not yet. I've got time.
Got a little bit of time. There they go, Steve. Is that turn two? Will they be back around?
Out there.
They'll be back around. I like it when they come back around. It's always nice.
Oh, they'll be back.
Yeah?
Well, the season's almost over, so.
What season's that?
Motorcycle season.
Oh, it's like a whole season?
Oh, yeah. You don't ride motorcycles in the wintertime.
I had friends that did.
That doesn't.
I live in Maine.
I thought you were
always a couple of crazy. I had a friend that did he did it all the time. He wouldn't like ride it in a snowstorm, and he wouldn't ride it if the roads were they had to be really clear. But that crazy son of a bitch, he would out in the middle of the winter. He'd bundle himself up and down the road.
I'm cold.
Okay, man. Now you're cold. Thinking about driving down the road in a motorcycle in the winter? I think you should get your motorcycle license, Steve.
No, that's all right. I like four wheels.
I think that'd be pretty cool. Drive around on a motorcycle.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not a fan. I prefer not to die. Not yet.
You're going to die anyway.
Not on a motorcycle.
Okay. But you're going to die anyway, right?
Not on a motorcycle.
I mean, you're mixing things that just don't necessarily mixed. You're gonna die regardless. Like, who knows if it's gonna be from a motorcycle or a scooter for that matter. Go scooter, Steve. Let's get you a nice Vespa.
I would ride a Vespa. Yes.
Okay, so
Slowly.
you go Vespa, which is the same exact fucking thing.
No, it's not
As a
the
motor-
same thing.
I haven't checked the statistics, but I'm pretty sure that most deaths on motorcycles are caused by a car hitting them, not just the motorcycle wiping out.
Exactly.
So you can't be hit on a Vespa?
Check the statistics and see how many Vespas
Have you
are
seen
hit
the
by
Yeah,
Clooney
check the
video?
statistics. See, you can't pull those statistics out. That's like saying, well, you know, flying in an airplane's safer than driving. Yeah, put a billion fucking airplanes in the sky and have them fly at the same level and see what happens. I'm willing to bet those statistics would change.
But that would just be dangerously unsafe, Matt.
Right. hence the curve.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Airplanes can fly higher than each other. You wouldn't need to do that.
Right, but never mind. I'm not even going to go there.
Here we go. Well, it's our first argument with Matt and Richard in Richard's short stint on the show this evening. We will be keeping track for you.
That's not fair. Me and Matt are perfectly capable of having amicable conversations.
Do it all the time.
Oh yeah,
It
all right.
happens.
No. You don't get to introduce new variables to the situation.
Wait. X-Men movies.
Well, this will lead to an argument.
Sony or
obviously.
Marvel?
Oh shit. Yeah. We got to actually shuffle you out, Richard, because we got to prepare for our next guest this evening.
We have more guests.
Yes, we have.
Alrighty, lads. Well, it was fun dropping in to my old haunt.
That's right.
Just gonna
You
say,
have, yeah?
Steve, you're awesome. Chris, you're awesome.
Yes.
Matt, have a good show.
Thank you, Richard.
What about Katie?
Oh yeah, I love Katie. She's the best.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. You're awesome too, Matt. I'll jump back into the YouTube channel. See you guys later.
All right, take it easy, man. Our ex-producer, friend of the show, Richard Allen. I do the Squatch Bowl podcast with him every Saturday night. I believe he does that on his channel. I don't know what his channel is on YouTube. I'll have to have him give it to me so I can pop it up. Everybody check out Squatchable with one Phil Poling as well, who I have the horn out. He may be joining us tonight. He said last night he would.
Huh.
I don't know if he will. I don't have control over that man. I don't know that anyone does.
You said you do a Saturday night podcast with him. He's always there on time, right? He always shows up when he says he's gonna, right?
Sure. By on time, do you mean when we're supposed to start?
Well, that's usually the definition of on time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with no. 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 But I haven't heard from him, so I don't know if he's coming or not. I don't know if he is going to make the show, Steve.
Doesn't he understand the magnitude of this show, what this show represents?
Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't.
I don't even know, so
I don't know what the magnitude of the show is. I don't know that the show has a magnitude.
No.
It's not like an earthquake.
No.
It's more like it's not even a tremor, Steve.
I don't even think it's a
It doesn't
tremor.
shake anything.
Uh-uh.
I don't even think if I shook my ass, it would shake anything for this goddamn show. I just don't think so. But it is growing, Steve. It's growing.
Hey, Steve.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Let me get a profile and lean a little bit closer to the camera.
Why?
It's not too much. I want to look at your face.
Oh no, here we go.
Please don't.
Okay, then use your finger and show me where your beard line's at. Not that finger.
Well, see, it's going gray, but it's right here.
Okay. So, as of this moment, even though I'm not camera capable, we all three have the exact same beard going.
Oh,
You'll just have to trust me.
just all letting it go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just letting it go.
Well, I did like the jawline for so long, and I decided just to like do like the full thing, but I'm not.
Well,
I don't want the long beard.
Excuse me. I'm considering like going all ready for winter, like just fucking going with it.
Right.
You know, but I haven't given it the. I haven't decided yet because I just trimmed it. I trimmed it back down. So I might from here out just let it go, and because it gets fucking cold up here
in Maine.
So, that's all right. I got to get prepared for the for when the big feet come out, when the snow. Oh, wait a minute. That's when we have our Yetis. That's right. It's Yeti season.
Yeti season.
When the snow hits the ground. It's Yeti season, man. We were just talking about our barefoot friend Michael Merchant recently.
Oh boy.
On the secret show.
I missed it. Darn it.
Yeah. I never heard again from one Ryan Redding about anything for anybody to come on the show.
I haven't even seen him in the chat.
Yeah. And you never said anything to me about, ever having what's his fuck on? Who you saw in Vegas.
Oh no. You
And I don't know that we even decided if it was even worth it to have him on anyway, but I mean, I said I don't give a fuck.
Well, something interesting did happen this past week.
Oh.
While we're on the subject of those type people.
Ooh.
Those type of people.
Yes. I saw where a certain Rick Dyer announced his return. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Now the claim is that the tent video, yes, and the footage from that piece of crap film he was in, not the new one, but the old one, with Tom Biscardi asking for Snapple. Those Bigfoot images are real.
Oh, yes.
And that there's more to come.
More to come.
Of course there is.
And that the producer of that documentary would never allow any sort of BS or hoaxing to soil his reputation as a documentary filmmaker and allow fake Bigfootery to take place. And he was also bashing his good buddy,
Richter. Lance, Rick Dyer is a giant douche canoe. We agree.
I was kind of surprised to hear that. He targeted Richter in his video.
Huh.
And they were good friends.
Why would he target Richter?
Oh,
well, here's the thing, though. At the end of the video, here's the twist.
Twist!
According to Rick Dyer, the reason that nobody will ever prove Bigfoot is because there's only one.
And he shot it twice now?
Yeah.
It's a fucking Highlander. There can be only one.
It's a spiritual beast. He went the God route.
Oh, no.
He went Christian. There's only one Bigfoot, and that's his new angle.
And if you send me your seed money,
yeah,
I can promise you that we will resurrect the Bigfoot here and now.
So, Bigfoot prayer friends, get ready. The third coming.
A cup of coffee a day. You two can resurrect Bigfoot with Rick Dyer.
Let's just put this on record. I think all four of us can agree it's a hoax.
Yes.
So when everything comes out, that's all we need to say. It's a hoax. And if you follow this guy, fuck you. You deserve.
I mean, but like I understand why he's doing it.
Oh yeah.
And like he did say on the video straight up that, the Bigfoot world has gotten boring. And I agree. Nobody's accomplished anything lately.
Let me just tell you this little secret. He's still friends with Richter.
Gasp.
So I'm going to guess that that's part of the whole.
Yeah, I would say so.
There's some sort of. Now, don't quote me on. Well, you can quote me on it. There's some sort of quote unquote battle going to happen between the two of them, and yeah,
There's gonna be fucking celebrity boxing in fucking the Bigfoot world now.
And then Richter's gonna call search and rescue to let them know that Rick Dyer's missing.
Gentlemen, I hate to intrude, and he can join in on the conversation. Back to the Fortean Slip. The one and only Steve Calls.
Steve Calls.
Steve Calls. Big fan
that?
of Rick Dyer.
Yeah, big fan of Rick Dyer. Is it the Squatch Detective Radio that comes on at 9 p.m. tonight, Steve?
Well, it's actually Squatch DTV now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's much better.
He's modernized it, okay?
Sick and tired of the old stuff.
You have to shorten it.
Make it for ding-a-ling.
Takes longer to write out. Hey, Steve, how did your weekend go last weekend? Didn't you have like a paranormal thing going on, some paranormal event?
Oh, it's been busy. I had a paranormal event on the 20th, the day they were supposed to storm Area 51. Yep, had a paranormal investigation at the old Mount Ida church and cemetery, and went very well. Nice little turnout. You know, not really much going on. Still an evidence review.
Yeah.
Heard a few things, but you know, nothing spectacular like there was a few years ago when we were there. But and then yesterday I had the Whitehall Sasquatch Festival, which was awesome.
That thing's getting pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, there had to be at least 500-600 people there. I mean, and that was just at one time. I don't know, you know, people come in, people come out. The roads were jammed all day. They had traffic backed up. They had people in the road direct, you know, parking areas. It was, I was quite impressed. They really went all, you know, full tilt on this one.
That's the one that you posted the poster there for the Whitehall one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, 'cause that's when I had hit you up about coming on this week, because I knew you were busy and you do the show after us, but I was like, hey, if you can just pop in, just say hi. We're doing a 6-year. You know, this is episode 100. We've obviously done more than 100 episodes, which we've explained ad nauseum at this point.
Well, happy anniversary, guys.
Yeah, thanks. The anniversary is actually the 18th of August, but we just hadn't done really anything big for it or acknowledged it or said anything. Steve's been playing Nintendo DS.
Nintendogs, to be more specific.
He was playing Nintendogs, trying to raise a dog. I think he killed it in 5 minutes.
I couldn't even figure out how to pet the damn thing.
So how's the Squatch DTV going with you with using the StreamYard?
It is going phenomenally well. I want to thank you for tipping me off to this great platform.
Oh, absolutely.
And yep, this is the first night on the Yeti too. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said that to me earlier.
Yeah, and I'm loving how it works. I did some narration on a couple of videos today with it, and like, wow, this thing rocks.
Oh yeah,
it'll last you forever.
Did you get it? Did you just get a brand new one?
Yeah, yep. I just got the Yeti Blue.
I've had mine for what year did I get mine, Steve? Like 2014 now.
1906.
It was like the end of 2013, the beginning of 2014. I got this, and it's still going strong.
Yeah, I've dropped this one. I've done a lot of things to it.
Why does yours look like a penis tip?
Yeah, Steve.
It has the little divot on the top. What's that about?
It broke. It dropped.
Oh.
I told you I dropped it. It still works.
Oh, I think that may not be his microphone.
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe that was the Sweetwater.
Yeah, I think that might be the legend. It might have popped up in frame.
So what's this? I hear a boxing match between Rick Dyer and Richter Iolo.
Yeah, celebrity boxing match.
Here's how it goes.
World's going to be rocked.
This will be the boxing match.
And pardon the French, but what the fuck happened to Rick Dyer? He looks like, what's with the little point on his head? He looks like
I don't know.
He looks like one of the fucking aliens on Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Master Shake. This is all news to me. I didn't know. I had just brought up that because we had a fan of our show say that he could get some people on the show, and one of those people was Richter Iolo, but Steve had run into Richter when he was out in Las Vegas recently.
Yes,
had dinner with Richter, and had a fine time, and may have been shown someone's penis on a photograph on a phone, which I've asked Steve many times, was mine one of the penises that may have been seen, because it is out there, and he kind of swims around the whole fucking question, so I don't know.
That would have been a dick move, in my opinion.
Right, I agree. And but so we haven't heard anything back from Richter. The other person was Michael Merchant, who we heard something and then we heard nothing. The other person who we heard a flat out fucking no was Jeff Meldrum.
Yeah, Meldrum's not a fan of our show for some reason.
Meldrum was a fucking hard no. So yeah.
Well,
but yeah,
wait, isn't he was supposed to be the one that he was absolutely supposed to get us?
Yes, that was the one that he said he could definitely get on the show, and I said bullshit. He hates me. That'd be like saying I can get Derek Randall's on the show. Yeah, go ahead, try.
Not coming on.
have a good shot at that.
I don't know how it is that I seem to get along with everybody.
Yeah, see, the thing is the problem is, Steve, is that you can take it. Like, if I gave you shit for something and I was honest with you about it, you're not going to sit there and be fucking boo-hoo. You know, where a lot of these people do, and a lot of these people can't take it when you say anything to them. And so it's and I just, with a lot of them, I just give up. Whatever, do your thing, have your fun.
And I'm also very good at holding my tongue, because when you said that whole thing about, people can't take some people can't take the least amount of criticism without, and I almost let something go out my mouth, but I was like, nope, not going to start that again. Nope. Has nothing to do with Lake Champlain, I promise.
What about all that shit coming out about the Loch Ness recently? It's a fucking eel. It isn't an eel. It's a fucking this. It's a that. It's a fucking stick.
I really think we should have Melba Ketchum go over there and test its DNA.
That'll prove it.
That stick.
Stick.
Prediction: merfolk exist.
Half plant and angel DNA.
Yeah, merfolk exist, and they're the Nephilim Anunnaki.
A combination of Nephilim and Anunnaki.
It has Atlantean DNA.
Oh, Jesus. We just happen to have a few strands lying around.
And what's with the Scott Carpenter grumpy cat picture there? What the hell?
Missed that one.
Oh,
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
I think you answered your own question, Steve.
It's Grumpy Cat.
What's going on in the fucking Bigfoot world?
It's not pretty.
I just saw, and I don't know if this is akin to what I was describing that should be done. But I was scanning through movies on Amazon Prime, I think it was, the other night, and I found a Bigfoot documentary about the people in Bigfooting. It focuses on the people. Now, I don't know if it focuses on the people in the way that I would like them to. The absolute craziness of some of the people, but I did not get a chance to see it, and I want to check it out to see if it's up that alley of what I would like to see. but I don't think it's going to go the downright crazy route, which I would think would be absolutely fascinating. Seeing the really seedy side of Bigfoot.
Wait. There's a seedy side to Bigfooting?
No.
Dude,
Seeing the tornado survivor.
Goddamn well, there goes Steve calls.
Oh yeah.
Steve
Yeah.
over there fucking grinning. He's like, "I'm fucking damn right I do, but I can't fucking say it out loud."
I have a friend who wants to get into doing videos about, paranormal stuff and maybe possibly some Bigfoot adventures and things like that. I'm like, dude, don't do it. I didn't say don't do it. I just gave him all the warnings that he should have before doing videos like that, because fucking people are assholes.
Well, there are some more colorful people in the Bigfooting world than others, and the paranormal world than others.
Yeah, assholes.
But the paranormal, I thought the Bigfoot thing was vindictive. Holy crap, the paranormal thing really keep my head low there too.
Yeah, we were just talking about just recently. I was talking with Phil about the whole Claudia Ackley case, and how I did not know that is now no more. I don't know if it got dropped or.
Yeah, she from what I recall, she dropped it because her.
She wound up dropping.
My understanding was the attorney had some conversation whether they decided to drop it and not move forward with it at this time. So why, I don't know. And then
and then Phil dropped a bombshell on me. And this is I'm gonna put allegedly before this. Phil said he saw court documents of arrests for one Todd Standing.
Ooh, that sounds a little saucy.
I'm not going to comment on what they were about, because I'd be reaching into my memory for this, and I don't want to construe any facts. But if he comes on tonight, I'll pick his brain for it. Yep. But he said I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I wanted to say, hey, this probably isn't the case. There's a lot of bullshit that gets spread around online. He's like, but I looked at the documents, and the documents are real.
I got an email from a gentleman this week, and I won't disclose what it all said because I haven't obviously asked his permission. I haven't responded to the email yet. It was on a video I did years ago about Todd Standing. And he went on an expedition with Todd Standing, and he had a good time, he said. But when he got back, some shit hit the fan, and Todd pretty much threw him under the bus. So even though nothing happened, it was totally opposite of what happened on the expedition is what Todd was claiming that this guy did. Mm-hmm. So he's like, now I totally understand. Even though when I was up there, we didn't see anything. He's like, there was no Bigfoot up there, but he had a good time at the expedition, and he comes home unexpected.
Sylvanic.
Yeah, unexpectedly.
149 men went into Sylvanic.
One of the many shows on the Paranormal and Unexplained. I can't remember which one. It just aired recently or is getting ready. I think it was last weekend. It was the season finale on Discovery or one of the major channels like that. And they were doing a Bigfoot episode, and it was starring Todd Standing and Jeff Meldrum.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Still kicking.
So is Meldrum still associating himself with Standing?
No, I don't think so at all.
I hope not. I mean, listen, Meldrum can think whatever he wants about me. I still have respect for the guy. I mean, for what he's done in the field. And I know that he's, for a long time, had to walk this fine fucking line because of where he works, what he does, who he is as a person in the community. And he's made some mistakes in the past, and we've obviously we're gonna fucking call it out. When he got fucking hooked up with Standing, we were like, whoa, what? And but I hope he's not associated with him anymore, because I do like Meldrum.
I did talk to Doc about that, and his point of view was that he was just, I just wanted to see what he was about,
Yeah.
And that
it just really, I mean, for so many people, it just sullied him.
Sure.
So many people out there who were so anti Todd Standing, it instantly sullied Meldrum.
Well, because to me, it'd be the same thing as, giving Dyer or Biscardi a fair shake at this point, whenever they've already been proven and exposed in the past of what they're about.
Well, Biscardi got exposed because some little upstart many years ago decided, well, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to see what this is about.
Matt?
Yes, I was entirely responsible for that incident.
Bigfoot expert Matt Knapp.
I believe it was Sean Forker, wasn't it? Sorry.
Don't pick on the fork chop.
But yeah, I mean, I see things like that happening, especially like with Meldrum, and I've always had respect for him because like I've been seeing the guy on TV since I was a kid. And of course I have respect for him, and I appreciate what he's brought to the field because I've always been a fan of the Bigfoot lore, legend, whatever the fuck you want to call it, history. But and it's too bad that he won't come on and bullshit with us and have a little bit of fun. But hey, it is what it is.
He took a lot of crap when that Russian Yeti thing came out.
Yeah,
and that, and I can understand somebody.
He got mixed up with that one too.
Well, you know how they work. We're doing a documentary on the Russian Yeti. We're going to be talking about the Dyatlov Pass, and we have these investigators that are doing stuff. And it turns out that Discovery's investigators were nothing but a sham, and they were just building a phony story around. And they did that same thing with the captured one too, as well.
Yeah, they tend to do that. They do that with Ancient Aliens a lot. They'll take clips of people who aren't ancient alien theorists, people like Robert Schoch, who talk about ancient civilizations, but not necessarily ancient alien theories, and then they'll just cut their interviews so that it fits into their narrative.
Yep.
They do that a lot in those shows. It's very indicative of their template for those. I don't know what you'd call those, if you call them like reality based, like history or and I don't know what you call it.
Fictional history or something like that. Yeah, and that's really a tough sell because how the heck would you know? I mean, we're doing this documentary and they do it and it comes out and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, because you've already signed it. You've already said, yeah, take what I got, and use whatever you're going to use because you sign off on it.
Yep. And I've been on a couple of the Paranormal Sideshows. And
the first time I ever saw you was on Monster Quest.
Yeah, that was eons ago now.
Yeah.
But I was on. I've been on Paranormal Survivor, and that's a real good one. Where they we're talking about this experience that I went out with a group and that was doing the hotel, this no-tell motel, I should say, that had been there for years. It's now vacated. And there was something pretty nasty in there, but it was like in my discussion, we were standing there doing something and we were trying to provoke it, and a chair moved right in front of us. And I said it moved about maybe about 3 or 4 inches. Didn't move a lot. It just went like it got just pushed back a little bit. Well, you watch the documentary, it then goes halfway across the floor. Well, that didn't happen.
I think though, when you sign up for that, that's going to happen. When I think our issue with Meldrum with Standing is he already knew Standing's reputation, prior to going on that with him, and he had to know that he was going to face some criticism.
But that's what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think for 1 second that's going to be? Should that be a stumbling block to get to the truth? I mean, I took criticism when I did the Biscardi deal.
Yeah.
Right.
And lots of it.
I'm not in this for a popularity contest. I'm in this to get to the truth. And if people are saying this guy is a turd, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to see if he's got anything, number one. And number two, what's his MO? And boy, did I get that very clear. In fact, I was the first one to come out. Everybody, and still there is a misnomer just to get on this. People don't want to accept even the reality of that, you know, the scam that's going on over there has nothing to do with Bigfoot at all. Nothing to do with Bigfoot at all. And I clearly outlined that in my book, 50 Large, that this is not, has anything to do with Bigfoot. Bigfoot is the smoke and mirrors. What it's about is money, and it comes in a different way. Doesn't come through. I mean, he will latch on to any phenomenal story there is. And it doesn't matter if it's true or not. And, you know, obviously if you understand the 2008 hoax, that, you know, it was, he told Dyer and went straight out that, you know, and I found all of this out after the fact, because when they started communicating, boom, I was left out in the dark. So I knew something was up, and they did not want me in Indiana, and I got myself to Indiana. So, and they weren't expecting that. And they didn't really want that to happen. And of course not, because that was part of their setup plan. You know, that's just the business model of what's going on over there, to get money this way or that way or this way or that way. It's all about the green, not anything to do with, oh, I'm going to fake this. I'm going to make this into a big deal. It's more like what the actual flow it is.
It's a promotional event.
Right. Well, more than that. Yeah, well, it's a lot more than that too. That's just one side of it.
Well, the way we've described it for years now is it's like a sideshow.
No, it's not.
No?
You think that's where the mainstay of the money comes from? Heck no. That is just the facade. And the real show occurs when he puts out a prospectus to a potential investor that's riddled with inaccuracy. That's where the real show begins. And
because he can just piss that money away.
No,
hey, dude, he started a publicly traded company.
Well,
really?
What is 90% of their investment money going for?
Him?
Snapple?
Museums.
Yeah.
Now, in the history, he has had control of that company since 2006.
Yeah.
And we are now 13 years down the road, and he still hasn't erected one museum yet. Yet he has gotten pretty close, by my estimates, to over $2 million for museums.
And we're talking about...
Well, he was going to open one there in New York, wasn't he?
Snapple Museum?
but that, I mean, that is the real thing.
It's the Joan Get Me a Snapple Museum.
That's right. Joan Get Me a Snapple. But that's what people don't understand. They just want to think all Bigfoot. They're not looking outside the real world of the problem. The real world of the problem is he's telling these people, well, I'm going to get a museum here and here. And then inevitably you hear, well, it didn't work out. Well, it didn't work out. Well, it didn't work out. I stood there in San Francisco where he says, yeah, we're going to rent that place, and this is where we're going to put the museum. There's a big for rent sign of it. Well, you got the money. Go put the money down and rent it.
Right.
But no.
So what you're saying is it's a big con.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion, yeah, it sure does. Unless he actually breaks ground on something, it will always be a con to me.
Well, if you notice all of his big events that he has or is involved in, there's always somebody else that's actually the person with the Bigfoot or the property or the evidence or whatever it is. And he's just the investigator showing up and promoting it, and then goes and gets investors. You know, we're going to do this and this. And like Steve said, we're going to open a chain of museums, and like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And he was using the Great American Bigfoot Organization, the one that he left previous in shambles. He was using that as a big excuse for not having his things to put into the museum.
I got to address. Yes, fuck Dean Cooper. This is Biscardi we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you're welcome for that. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's very indicative of across lines in all of these fields: UFO, paranormal, Bigfooting. People get a smell or a whiff of money and or fame, and they dive all over it. And
Yep.
that's what most of these people are there for. They're not there for the quality of the research or, the purity of what it is. They are there to sell a book. They are there to make a buck. And I mean, to some of them, I mean, I get it. I get, this is what you do. This is what you're into. You write these books. You go to these places. You sell them. All fine and good. All good. You're very passionate about it. That's good. But there is a lot of them who could give a sweet shit, and you can tell.
Mhm.
And they are just there to push a product, make a buck, and go on to the next one.
And it's that way with everything.
Right, across the board.
And TV is such a hard medium. It's true. I mean, you do, when we were doing the Monster Quest episodes, the budget for that was like that big. I mean, it was tiny. I think they had like 7 days to wrap.
Yeah, well, that's what I always used to say. I used to say, it's a great show, but what are they getting done in 7 days?
And the difference between when I actually worked with the same director for Monster Quest that I did the Truth Behind the Loch Ness Monster when I did the Nat Geo one, and it was the same director, and that's why he wanted me. And he was like, he goes, "This is a completely different gig." They actually had a 23-day budget for that one. It was huge. And they took their time, and it came out to be they had a lot of scientists on the show. But even that, I saw edits, and I talk about that every once in a while if I get into a lecture about. Once in a great while, I get asked by like a dive club or something to talk about that, and I'll show clips of the show, and like one of the and this is the disingenuous about TV, no matter how good it is. There was a particular gentleman by the name of Robert Preston who claimed he had this photo of this thing in front of Alduri Castle. This 3-sectioned, but it was kind of bright. So, and he was trying to say, well, the sun was hitting it and it was glowing, and it made it look like a glow, and that's just the sun glaring off the beast. And
that's what I say about Steve's legend.
I stayed at Alduri Castle, and it was about 11:30 in the morning, and there is that same thing. So I actually duplicated the photo, and I showed the director and everything, and they actually had me go down to the shore and talk about me debunking the whole Preston photo. And I was like, if you can look over across the loch, there is a house there that has copper flashing on their roof. And at a certain time, the sun hits and it reflects, it hits the roof, and that image goes down onto the loch, creating this whole thing.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the program, they had some scientists saying, well, it looks like it appears that what Mr. Preston has taken is a series of boats. I mean, what? No, wait, did you happen to see? No, because he was never shown what I had taken. Right. He had never seen my explanation. And they went with the scientist trying to debunk it as a series of boats with no evidence versus me who is supposed to be the believer who debunked it with evidence.
Right.
And so it did kind of leave me a little sore about it, but all in all, it did make me look like a rock star.
Well, and that's the thing, like, and you see the people, there are people who go out and make the effort. We were just talking about that, that there's a new Bigfoot video that Phil had just done. I don't know if he did like a breakdown or if he just did a commentary on it, but he's like, it's obvious that the guy had somebody. He said he didn't have anybody with him to do a comparison when he went back, but he's talking to somebody in the video, so it's obvious that he had somebody with him when he went back. So I give credit to people, like, for all of the faults that with the Bart Catino thermal footage at the Sierra Kill site. I give Catino credit for going back and doing a well planned out and executed recreation for comparison purposes. He did a fabulous fucking job, and no one can take that away from him.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah, and that's what everyone should do. If you take one of these videos and there is something there and you go back, make a comparison. You know, don't just fucking take a video of the place and be like, oh, it was right there. That tells me shit. That tells everybody shit.
I mean, I talk about that on my program all the time. And, you know, I always say that a piece of film, a photograph, an audio is only good as the story behind it. If there's no story behind it, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a 5-second clip. Oh, there's the Bigfoot. That's it. Well, if you're not saying nothing about it, if you're not showing the video before, after, or whatever, or, you know, I get it if you're not a researcher to go back and try to take measurements and stuff like that. And then you look what, you know, believe it, you know, whether you want to believe it or not, or how you feel about it doesn't matter. You know, the Vermont trail cam photo, that thing I held on for 4.5 months and did quite the investigation on that. I was there 3 times, measurements, photos, recreations, sending it to a scientist, stuff like that. That's what it needs to be done.
Yeah.
You know, and people don't, Kelly Shaw. That's what comes to mind when I think of the the drone Bigfoot there that turned out to be a sham. Like,
Jesus,
I got into a long series of conversations with Mr. Shaw, and he was blaming it on the people who did it, you know.
But he found Bigfoot hair there.
Yeah, I know.
Did you?
And he was, and I don't know if Shaw listens to our show or not. I don't care. But he told me, well, the law says you're not allowed to fly these things, and he was trying to go after them legally through the FAA because they were flying a drone, just because it made him look bad. And I'm like, dude.
I remember that. I remember him
He
trying
put
to do
out
that.
a video of a black bear climbing a tree by the side of the road picking berries. Edited the video where you couldn't see that it was a bear. In the audio that he cut for the video, you can hear the cut. He cut it at the wrong spot. And you can hear the part where he says it was a bear. But it's not clear. It's just like, I saw it. It was I don't know what it was. It was like that bad of a cut. And he put this out there.
It was a Bigfoot.
Yeah. It was a barefoot. And he put this out there as, we don't know what it was. It was big, black, and hair covered and going after those berries. And you do know, he got out of the car. They saw it. They know what it was. And they still put that out there. There was another time where he had put out a video and somebody had pointed out that, like, oh, is that one peeking over the rise right there? You know, you could see like hair coming up over the elevated portion next to where they were. Well, I contacted him about it, and it was his girlfriend or wife or whoever she is. He knew who it was, but he wasn't saying anything because it was getting traction on YouTube as like possibly a Bigfoot peeking at them.
Yep, and that's what it's all about. It's about clickbait. It's about getting those hits. It's about the green. And when you, what more can I say? I mean, it gets very frustrating when somebody puts themselves out there like they're the end all be all, and they're doing clickbait. And another rhetorical question. Did Thinker Thunker go to the Facebook Find Bigfoot School of Film Analysis? just wondering. Because,
well, doesn't that get more views than saying it's not a Bigfoot?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying the other night with Phil again, these people can come out and they can do whatever. And it's amazing how some people will just gloss over what these obvious assholes and hoaxers have done. and be like, oh, but yeah, he's done some really good stuff, and he's an asset to the community, and they just won't. No one will break ranks on. There's certain people that they'll talk good about everybody out there, and they'll never go after the people that deserve it.
Well, when you bat 125 for a baseball team, they trade you.
Yeah.
That would have been the 84 Sox.
Not here. They put them in movies. They put them in the moving pictures.
We're gonna put you in the pictures. Picture shows.
It seems to me though that the Bigfoot community goes after the wrong people. I mean, people who are just putting out videos for fun, and it's clearly funny. Like Peter Kane, the dog trainer guy, it's clearly just for fun. I mean, but yet they want to blast this guy all the time as if he's some big hoaxer. He's not a hoaxer.
Do you know why they want to blast him? Because there's a large section of the Bigfoot world now that is so naive and so stupid.
Well, yeah.
They believe his videos are real, Steve.
I'm sure that's true. But yet the guy, like, let's say Kelly Shaw or people like that, have this huge following when he's clearly not putting out real stuff. But the guy who's clearly putting out fun stuff, just messing around with people, that's the guy they go after.
Well, do you know what happens whenever you go after the people that deserve it?
Yeah. Well, it's not.
You get attacked.
Yeah.
They don't believe you, regardless. There's
Until
a certain
years later,
woman putting out some very fake stuff that Mr. Coles here got the proof that she was hoaxing and posted it on his blog, on his website. I posted a link to my own Bigfoot group to let people know, hey, this lady is fraudulent. She's taking pictures of fucking gorillas in the zoo. She's blurring photos. She's, and I got attacked. I got put on blast. No, that's not proof. How does that prove anything? You're just out to get her. And she still has a Patreon.
Guess what? Not one of them dared go after me. Why is that?
Because you're the Squatch detective, Steve.
Well, because
at first they were talking about Linda Fig Newton Perry.
Oh God.
Oh, you know what? Here's the funny thing. Back in 2012, I think it was 2012. I actually convinced Rick Dyer to go after her, and he did. He said she's such a bad hoaxer. I'm a better hoaxer. Which I thought was hysterical.
I'm a better hoaxer. Fuck off.
Well, speaking of your favorite storyteller, Miss Ellen P, the Miller documents, I still get people telling me that those are real and that I'm wrong.
You are very correct. They are fake as anything. It's a meshing. The real H.A. Miller. I remember doing the research. The real H.A. Miller was a doctor in the early 1900s, not as late as she said it was. And there was another Miller who was they're actually two different people. And what he did was he very smartly tried to mesh them.
Well, the scientific, taxonomy that he applied, or whoever wrote it applied to Bigfoot in the documents, is just already taxonomy that's used. You can Google it. Yep. It's just two different terms for New World monkeys, like certain species of monkeys.
Right. Yeah, she's retired a number of years ago and's got nothing better to do. And like taking the pictures of the guys from the Fort Worth Exchange.
Yeah.
Oh,
and here's the ESP team. I mean, how many times can you catch somebody? And this is the problem with hoaxers nowadays. Remember back in the day when you used to catch a hoaxer, the hoaxer used to say, yeah, and then they would disappear.
Yeah.
Now, no. They insist they're right and they keep in the fight.
You know who we saw pop up again?
Uh-oh.
Norm fucking Glasser.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. That photo was being passed around again with a different story behind it.
By Norm?
No, by someone else. I can't remember. I didn't trace it back farther than the person who was posting it.
But amazingly enough, if that fucking picture got popped back up again, it's like that's the same fucking shit.
Yeah, there's only one place it could come from.
Yeah, the recycle bin.
Yeah.
The just the other day, or not the other day, but the other month, Ray Vigera, this guy from Texas, started posting these pictures of photographs. Going, that one looks really familiar to me, and somebody had pointed out that, wait a minute, that came from this group, and as it turned out, the one that looked familiar for me was actually taken down in the Hudson Valley by a researcher by the name of Gail Beatty, and this guy was putting them out like he was finding them. And to me, that's the lowest of the low when you steal somebody else's research and say it's yours. And this guy had no remorse and says, "Oh, yeah, you're just." And then I found out that he was a big Rick Dyer ass kisser. From what I understand, they had a falling out. Who doesn't have a falling out with Rick?
Steve, he calls Steve a weasel.
Yeah,
he did. Yes.
But Vergara's sitting there saying one thing, to me, like, "Oh, you're just mad because you were only popular when you were fighting Rick Dyer." Really? Okay. And then he says, and I said, "Well, you're going to end up, why don't you just tell me the truth? Otherwise, you're going to end up on Expo. Go ahead, put me out there, make me famous." Wait a minute. How would I make you famous if I'm not a nobody anymore?
Yeah, but that's what they want, Steve.
I know.
They don't care about bad publicity. They just want the publicity.
No, that's not necessarily true. It depends on the character. Depends on the character.
All press is good press, though.
You said
that was a very meager attempt at reverse psychology. You see, you got to understand their mind speak when you actually, and I engage them, and you can tell the ones that want nothing to do about it. Do you think Katuna wanted her crap put out there? Hell no, she didn't. That's why you got voraciously attacked. Do you think Rick Dyer wanted that stuff out there? Hell no. That's why you were voraciously attacked. Did this guy want this stuff out here? No, he didn't attack me, but he said, "Yeah, go ahead and do it." Well, because he wants me to do the opposite. You see, so you have to weigh everybody. I don't care what anybody says. Bad publicity is bad publicity. And, the thing is in this field, bad publicity will derail your future. That's what people don't understand. You have to put these people on blast. It's our commitment to do that. Number one, it shows you that you have the integrity and the responsibility to say, "Hey, listen, these people, this person, they're really junk science, or they're hoaxing, or whatever. These are the people that are running down." And that's what I try to do each week of the show, is showcase people that are doing the stuff right, taking stuff that's out there now, giving a little lifetime analysis, but at the same time calling out the bad guys, calling out the people who are really putting the muck into this. Because believe it or not, the media does pay attention to a lot of it. So when you see, them interview somebody that's got a real tarnished reputation, they know exactly what they're getting into, and that's why sometimes they pose those certain loaded questions to them, and vice versa. If they know somebody's on integrity, then they come out with a different interview strategy. Not necessarily make the person look bad, but we want to hear the good points of the valid points. So yeah, that's a Biscardi saying, and any publicity is good publicity. No, it's not. Absolutely not. Yeah, it's short-lived, but it's not for a marathon runner. It's for a sprinter. So remember that.
I tend to disagree on that one. I think in this day and age, especially, any publicity is good publicity. It's the way news has worked nowadays, and if people have learned to spin it to their to their benefit. I mean, I look at people like fucking Doc Johnson, the fucking Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, like people are still following him. Still. Now he's claiming to fucking heal people.
Yep. I
Like,
talked about
what the fuck is going on?
Well, that is an up and out cult. And here's the thing. We could say nothing about that, or we could point it out. And I understand but I'm not pandering to media. None of us should be pandering to media. We're pandering to the research. We're pandering to science. So that's why it's important to expose the charlatans. Is because we're not pandering to the media. We're pandering to the media. You're right. They don't care. They'll get their 15 minutes of fame, but that's all they get. I mean, let's face it. When was the last time Rick Dyer was in the news? 2012.
Right.
2012.
You're right. Yeah. And
Right?
I mean, he was a little bit with the whole fucking Sideshow Bob fucking Hank thing for a little bit.
Just for a little.
But not like he was with the Bigfoot in the freezer bullshit.
So you got to remember, it's we're in it for the marathon. Hoaxers are in it for the sprint.
Right.
The foul people, or as or the people that put out the pseudoscience, they're in it for as long as they get mileage out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ketchum didn't release her results and was catty about the whole thing for a couple of years because she knew once it came out, it was going to come down pretty quick, and it did.
I remember the whole build up to that bullshit. Oh god, that was when I first got into the whole Bigfooting community online. Was the whole build up? There was a countdown to when Melba was going to release the results of the DNA study.
But you see, here's the thing. And I think Matt might have known this too. I knew something was wrong with that from day one because I talked to Melba. And I remembered who the first person to give her publicity was. It was Tom Biscardi.
Yeah.
And so I had my suspicions that this whole thing was, something was wrong. And I kept saying for days that primer, she's got a patent on the primer. She's sending the primer to the labs instead of them developing their own. If you throw a loop into your primer, every result from whatever lab you get, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same.
Yeah. I just think in this day and age, it's where people go and it's what people tend to do. We're in that type of a, if it bleeds, it leads news cycle nowadays. And it's I mean, they just go for it. Everybody goes for it. Everybody goes for the clickbait. Everybody goes for the fucking hot topic news. I've done it. We've all done it. Oh, you brought your Snapple. Look at you. You didn't have to fucking holler for somebody else.
I got my own, damn it.
Hey, Matt. Robert Smith has joined us yet again.
Awesome.
We like to believe that this is Robert Smith of The Cure, Steve. that is in our chat room.
You never know.
But I haven't heard back from Phil yet, so I don't know if we're going to get Phil tonight. Old pal Phil Poling. I did hear back from Fred. I actually heard back from his wife, Des. He's pretty busy with commission work right now, so he will not be able to make it on the show tonight. I did ask him to come on tonight so we could talk to him.
Dang it.
Yeah, Fred's been turning out some really nice work lately.
Oh, when hasn't
he? I just realized I'm not using my main computer to broadcast to you guys tonight because I'm using the same computer I used. And on my computer I used to put the media out to Yardstream, I was going to ask you if you wanted me to play my Bigfoot Snapple commercial, but unfortunately I can't.
Yeah, I've been trying to get back into it. I used to put together all kinds of cute little bullshit for the show, and I did some of the first production audio production I've done in a while, because I do a show, the secret show that I do every once in a while, like midweek. I'll do it every so often, and I did that last week. Put the production together for that, and I had fun doing it. I used to have fun doing that shit.
Oh yeah, the Snapple commercial was hysterical.
I have so much shit. I've got the audio for all the old stuff I did on the channel in the beginning, like all the original stuff.
Well, you know, and you know what it is, you know, I think that this medium is very much more geared to the future. That the blog talk stuff, that was getting so old. And you can you can do only so much shtick with audio, and you know that's always part of it. Was always part of my show was, we did some real we did real stuff, but we had some fun with it, and we'd always do a bit or two here and there when we had time. And the radio was just so hard to do a bit. We'd have to get a real good sound clip, like Henry May spilling soup on himself or something like that, and then and then we would have a clip, and then we would have some shtick. We're a prank phone caller we could play with. This is so much easier because there is so much idiocy out there. And I think this is the first week in the we're doing our 7th or 8th show on Yardstream. Took a couple of weeks off because I was really busy with stuff. But every week I did a Stop the Lunacy, little thing. And it was so easy. The last time I did it on good old Dr. J and the Tricon and, the Tracon and Zorth and all that other stuff, it was quite funny because
fucking Xanadu and the fucking the Scientology cult.
And that's what it is. Unfortunately, it's a cult. Pure and simple, and there is, I've heard
they really do like sit around in a circle now and give testimony on the videos.
They do.
Yeah.
Matt
sent me that fucking video. I was like, what is this?
For the record, I want to say that I called cult like 3 years ago, at least.
I wasn't even paying attention to them 3 years ago, but when I started hearing, about Zorth, then it was like, okay, I paid attention a little bit. Then when he started the healing stuff, that was like, whoa, what?
I seen it coming because it just, when you start adding spirituality into anything, and he had been, it was 3 or 4 years ago he started doing that shit.
He'll have in no time at all, he'll have an earpiece. He'll be on stage.
My biggest issue is not that he's running a cult. I could care less. If those people want to join his cult, fine.
Martha Plimpton, Zorth is telling me that you have a bum knee.
My issue is that somebody's going to get hurt eventually.
Yep. Well, that may. I've heard rumors that somebody did. Somebody passed.
Praise Bigfoot.
But
I'm talking about when he puts food out for unknown wild animals and stuff like that. You're inviting bad things to happen. Yeah, with people around.
Kids.
We're going to find out that he's a distant relative to Peter Popoff.
Something.
Petey. Let's get the Miracle Spring oil.
His name is Adam Davis. I know it sounds like Davies, but it's not. It's Davis. He's from the UK. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a feed off Dr. Johnson's earpiece.
Yeah. You got it wrong. They would have said bitch lips. Sorry.
But it's more like the person that's going to read it off, because they've been so brainwashed out of it. They'll be like, yeah, he's from a place called Yuck. No, that's UK. Yes, our next caller is from Nanasses, Virginia.
Normally, Steve, I think you're a corny fuck, but that one fucking got me. You're from Yuck. Oh, shit. Yeah, I totally see fucking Johnson becoming like Pop Off. I mean, give it time. Give it fucking time. At this point, nothing would surprise me, and I kid you not.
Short one linen man blouse from it. I mean, like it won't take much.
When Matt sent me that video, what was it? Was it this past week, Matt?
Either this week. It's recent.
It was very recent, and I what the fuck is this?
I was just like, this is a thing.
You know what's going to end up happening? What's going to end up happening is that we're going to get a report that Matt Johnson has an infomercial at 4 a.m. in the morning, doing these Bigfoot healings, and the report's going to come from Rick Dyer, who is on a cocaine binge all night and couldn't go to sleep, so he turned the TV on at 4 a.m. and there's Matt Johnson on TV.
I'd buy the fucking Rick Dyer cocaine binge. that one I can fully get behind. It's just such a fucking circus at this point, and that's why I've said for the longest time, you want to do a documentary about Bigfooting, do it about the people who just buy into this fucking circus, hook, line, and sinker. And I'm sorry, people, that you are the rubes and you are the dumbasses, but this movie needs to be made about you.
And now this is really going to be good. Is when I'm done with the show tonight, I'm going to go to Amazon Prime, and I happen to think the guy's pretty harmless. So C. Wayne Wilson has a movie out now. And I'm looking so forward to this one.
Is this the one that I'm thinking of that I was talking about?
Yeah, I think Stacey Brown did it.
Stacey Brown? Oh no, I don't think so. But
I'm
already interested.
I'm playing the trailer on my show tonight, and I was going, well, this. And then I got thinking about, this guy's harmless, because he's seeing, not only is everything a Bigfoot and he's seeing all these things, but he's seeing the Dog Man, the Men in Black, the Bird Man, and Anubis.
Oh, Jesus!
So it's just funny, and some of the posts he makes. Yeah, I was in the Walmart and so I was showing people the picture of my Bigfoot in Walmart, and they thought it was real. So,
there's where you get your showing them the picture of my big foot, and
and then the funniest post though was, I was in Walmart a little while ago, and I heard this girl say to her boyfriend, "I want a piece of that," and she was talking about me. And I was like, "Oh wow!" So I don't know if this guy is just shtick or what, but I enjoy it.
Oh God, I don't know. I would like to see a Bigfoot documentary about the people in the Bigfoot community. Like I said, the ones that are
called shooting Sasquatch.
The ones that are the hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and fucking sinker. Shooting Sasquatch. Are you talking about Rosahibi's documentary?
No, I'm talking about the Morgan Matthews one, which kind of validated that Rick Dyer was a bullshit artist. And,
yes.
I enjoyed that one.
Because Rose was dead Bigfoot.
Here's Dyer, falling twice on the thing, wearing cowboy boots, trying to hike, which is the dumbest thing you can do. And he's all out of breath, and I'm like, yep, there's the greatest Bigfoot hunter right there. I like wearing my cowboy boots.
Fucking idiot.
It was a good movie, though. I have to admit, I enjoyed watching it.
It did. It was hysterical. Yeah. And you know what? I just saw Wayne and they were kind of like they were nutty, but they were lovable. And as much as people had distaste for Dallas, yeah. Dallas was a nice guy. Believe what he did. If you're genuine, I don't get gnarly about it. There's no sense. Okay.
I have no doubt that Dallas and Wayne believed everything they said.
Yeah. I watched that there was a documentary they did about the two of them a while back, and I mean, they seem to they seem to be good enough guys. They seem a little misguided to me. That's all.
Yeah. That was not your typical
that's-
Bigfoot movie.
And right, and that's why like when we had Brent Dill on, and the whole him busting the Laurie Simmons thing, the tree, we were just like, why? You know, why? This isn't something that had to be done. This isn't something that needed to be, but it was made out to be like it was this thing that had to be done. And come to find out, you know, there's a romantic involvement between the two of them.
Yep.
And you know, that's what we had been calling the whole fucking time. We were like, listen, this sounds like a jaded fucking lover thing. It's exactly what it comes off on. It doesn't look good as a research. It just doesn't look good.
Yep.
And you know, and like Matt and I had both said, we're like, anybody worth their fucking salt who takes any look at that is gonna say, yeah, I don't think Bigfoot lives beneath that tree.
Right. And you know what? Lori is not a bad person.
No, I am friends with Lori. I've told Lori exactly how I feel. And I've told her, listen, I disagree with you. I am not. She bought one of our fucking Fortean Slip t-shirts. As a matter of fact, she's a cool person. I've talked to her for many years now. And yeah, like I disagree with her, and yet we still can remain friends.
Yep. And likewise, you know, all the crap that Claudia Ackley took, I have nothing bad to say about her. Not a thing.
No, and we had her on the show.
Yeah,
we told her exactly how we felt about it, that we disagreed with what she was doing, and she still, to this day, if she messages me, she's like, "Oh, how are you guys doing? It was great being on your show."
That is the true that is the true spirit of this field. Is we can disagree, but we can all, you know, at the end of the day, we're all researchers trying to come to an answer.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And
and I'd like for it all to be more that way, but you and I and everybody in here in this room, we all know that there is far more infighting and bullshit that goes on than the cooperative, hey, how are you doing? How have things been going with you? Cooperative effort. That is the minority. The majority is fuck you, buddy.
Yeah. Well, I really think the bane of our existence is hoaxers and pseudoscience. And not when I say pseudoscience, it's the ones trying to, pass off real scientific stuff off as real.
I know what you're trying to say, Steve. I've said many times, and I don't know if you ever get a chance to talk to him. But I do a show with him every once in a while. He completely bailed on being in the Bigfoot field, but David Batdorf, and David was very scientific oriented. He college educated, knew what he was doing. I met up with David up in Washington. We went to the Brown property on the Olympic Peninsula where the Gray Harbor footage was taken. And I watched David try to walk these people around the property and explain to them how to document this stuff properly. And you watch this shit go in one ear and out the fucking other. Because and this is why you had these two people with all these different fucking voices yapping at them. They had people from the Olympic Project. They had people from other different fucking areas. They had Phil. They had Jeff. They had a multitude of other people pulling in 5 million different directions.
They had me.
Yeah, Matt. Everybody that's going there and taking their footage, taking their thing, they want it to be theirs. And I mean, I'm not trying to in any way defend the Browns, because the stuff that happened with them between them and I personally afterwards was kind of shitty. So I don't give a fuck. But as far as that stuff goes, I watched that and I watched him try to get them to follow a scientific method And then I just watched that just fall on deaf ears. And this is a guy who wanted to do it this way, who believed in it, and because he got so frustrated with trying to tell people that, excuse me, this is how you should do it, and this is the only way we're going to get, proof that we can present to people.
Yep, exactly.
And he was just like, "Fuck this."
And that's why I think we don't have a lot of scientists in this, is because they can't get people to understand that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even the woo folks and like my whole little thing, Stop the Lunacy, I try to do that in a fun sort of way rather than a mean way or a way that attacks people. Obviously there's certain folks like the Zorth crew that are starting to step over the line and really cause damage, and that is something completely different. If you want to go out and believe that and talk to the forest people, and go right ahead. Who am I to say that you can't do that? But just don't ask me to buy into it, and I'm gonna have a little fun with it. Don't get angry. I'm not saying it to be mean. I'll shake your hand and talk to you nicely anyway.
Yeah, I just think that more people need to call out the bullshit.
Right.
There needs to be more people saying, this is the stuff that we need to call out, because it is a problem. It's creating this very dangerous mindset, I think.
Yeah, but here was my problem, and the reason I quit calling out the bullshit is because nobody cares. I mean, it seems like nobody cares.
That's not true at all.
It's not true. I know it's not true. But I could say Rick Dyer did this. I could say Matthew Johnson did that. I could say, and it didn't seem to matter. I mean, there was one or two people who would agree with me, and the rest of them just believed what they wanted to believe, and that was that.
Well, you got to understand, and what you're looking at is a microcosm of the bigger community.
Yeah.
The people that do wrong are usually the most vocal about it. The people that do right are usually the quiet ones. So when you put that stuff out there, I can look at, like hit counters. I can look, I put when I was doing the Cat Hansen stuff, I saw what the reaction by the blog count numbers. Not a lot of people were talking, but I could see by the count people were paying attention.
Yeah, and that one thing I've noticed about this show lately, like since I got it in a podcast format on Anchor, as a downloadable stream, people can download it to their devices, listen to it later. We're getting a much larger following in that area than we are on YouTube.
Gotcha.
Because people are going back and they want it could, and I think in a lot of ways, I'm not tooting our own horn, but we like to talk about things in a real fashion. Not, we don't like to blow smoke up people's ass. We don't like to, candy coat it. We just like to talk about it. We're fascinated by these subjects, but this is how we see it.
It's the Bob and Dave show.
It's the Bob and now Phil Poling, ladies and gentlemen, from Para Breakdown.
Oh, I'll wait for the applause. Thank you.
Speaking of smoke up people's asses,
I see what you did there. Matt, I have to apologize, Matt. Okay, YouTube, in their wisdom, decide to attack these videos that I'm putting up. So they understand that you're looking for my videos, and when you get there, they're not there because they're taken down.
Yeah.
Did they do it again?
They're doing it all. They're doing it all the time, Matt.
I don't even want to discuss it with you anymore, Phil.
Okay. All right.
I was about to reach out. I was about to reach out to you the other day about something I came across, but she just wouldn't do it. See what I came across? She wouldn't. No, I found some information. I found some information that I was going to pass on to you, and then I was like, but then it won't. Then it won't happen like that with him, and
it won't happen like what with me? I mean, what do you mean? I mean, come on.
Well, YouTube has said that they're starting a new program where, like, if you get like a yellow flag, they're introducing new advertisers, so they'll make money too.
Yeah.
And you can now go in and go over and review your own videos that you upload and take the strike off of them and have them up there if you're not doing anything wrong in them.
Yeah. This is a new deal. And
unlike me, where I say fuck in like the first minute.
With me, it was a matter of getting my entire channel, monetized again. So I had to go through and jump through a whole bunch of hoops.
By the way, Phil, I watched your recent upload of your old Super Soylent stuff, man. That was good. That was a blast from the past.
Funnier than a screen door on a submarine.
It was good stuff, though.
Good old Phil. We were talking about your I know you said it wasn't really a breakdown, but the one you did of that video recent that just came out, the Bigfoot one where the guy goes back and he's got the guy with him, but he says that he didn't have anybody there for comparison.
Right. in fact, he had the nerve to call the video in itself a comparison. Well, it was standing in the wrong place. The object. It was sad. Yeah, I don't know. No, it wasn't really a breakdown. It was just an observation that, this guy's, I don't know,
sucks.
He's fucked up.
But by the way, this guy sucks.
Yeah,
that's my observation.
So,
Hair breakdown. Rock on.
But he's got like 5 or 6 videos, I think. Every one of them is like Bigfoot in the leaf or something like that.
I did. Now I'm on Yardstream. We did like the very first analysis we did was on the the most popular Bigfoot, the best Bigfoot film since the Patterson-Gimlin film, and Chris Bennett goes, "What's that white thing on its back?" And is that a leaf? And I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh my God, let's play it forward. Let's pull it back. We're doing this live on air. I go, you know what that is? That's a rip in the costume at the seam.
By the way, do we have to take a shot every time he says yard stream instead of stream yard?
Oh, yeah, yard stream yard.
I'll drink to that.
Of course you would. You'd drink without that.
What is that? Diet peach Snapple?
You got it.
Jeez.
Of all the nerve.
Fuck. Have we created a monster by getting Phil and Steve Coles together?
I think we might have. It was a bad idea. When those two forces come together.
Oh, Steve might lose. Steve might lose a few friends over this one.
Friends? Steve?
We call Phil the fun ruiner. Ruins every Bigfoot video.
Fun crusher.
And not just Bigfoot. I ruin them all.
Phil, check out this video. It looks... No, Chris.
Yeah, right.
Phil is the anti-thinker thunker.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Did you have to bring Thinker Thunker up?
Didn't we bring him up already?
Yeah.
No, I think you did. Yeah.
I did. Yes. He is the new Facebook Find Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's got to be related, cousin or something.
It's a sad state. I mean, the whole community, and like we were saying, it's not just Bigfoot. It's the UFO people. It's the ghost hunters.
Why is it a sad state? No. Why is it a sad state?
Why is it a sad state? Yeah. Because there's no real fucking research, Phil.
Well, I understand that, but some people, they really get off on this kind of thing. Then they really want to believe in this sort of thing. I believe in Bigfoot. I like Bigfoot videos. There are people who believe in spirits, ghosts, and what have you. And I say, hey, whatever floats your boat, dude.
Whatever floats your boat, but it's the way people act throughout these communities. And we were talking about the backstabbing and how we were talking with Steve about how, there are some people that you can talk to and you can disagree with them and still have decent conversations, be friendly with them. But there's so much of this infighting and bullshit that goes on amongst these groups that it just really soils the rest of it. And the majority is the infighting, not the cooperation.
Speaking of which, Steve, are you selling something on eBay right now? What are you doing there?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Playing with my labels.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's important.
Earlier, he was playing with a Nintendo DS. Don't mind him.
Yeah. Now, I just posted a photo, actually a little news story on my Facebook page that Steve is going to just freak out about because they've discontinued the pumpkin spice spam. So they're not going to have the pumpkin spice
I've never had that,
spam
actually.
Anymore.
Go buy up all the cans you can find.
That's right. Sell
You
them
know
on
what?
eBay.
That might actually be a good idea. Thanks, Phil.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm here to help.
See you guys later. Hey, I'm an opportunist. I can't help it.
No, you? Can't imagine. Steve Alcorn, opportunist?
Hey, anytime something goes discontinued, I'm all over that.
Any port in a storm? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Steve?
That's not.
I have got 6 full unopened cans of Billy beer up in a cupboard in my garage.
Yeah, that one didn't take off very well.
No, it didn't, but I still got it. It's still up there. And it's still sitting. And it's still worth $3.98.
Mr. Alcorn.
Yes.
I suggest you go buy as much flavored vape as you can find and sell it to New Yorkers.
I don't have to. Well, I can't. First of all, I'm not allowed. You have to be licensed to sell it. However,
technicalities.
Yeah, technicalities.
But you just have them come over to Ohio, and they're just paying you back for it.
That's right. I make my own. So.
Yeah, but he's done some clearance buying on some vape juice.
They're paying you back. They're paying you back for it. I don't know. I'm lost again.
I almost got the vape cancer.
I'm not.
I can't call it vape cancer. I got to call it
I'm
something
not
else.
selling it to them.
Matt doesn't like that.
They're just paying me back. See, I'm giving it to them for the same cost.
Oh, I see. I got it.
They're paying me back for what.
You have a little box that says donations here.
Yes. That's how that works.
It's like a psychic reading.
For a $20 pledge, he will give you 1 bottle of vape juice.
That's right.
What you do is you beat your ex to the soothsayer.
Don't promote beating exes on the air.
That's right. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you about because I had mentioned it to the guys earlier, Phil. Could you explain what it is that you came across with the wonderful Naughty Toddy standing?
You mean the arrest?
Yes.
Warrants and so forth.
Yes.
Yeah. It's on file. It's up in British Columbia, and there was 2 charges. One is harassment, and I believe the other one is like 4th level assault or something.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is public record, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if angry.
Yeah. I got very angry. I don't do this to me.
No, it was just his PTSD. He saw somebody that was big as a Sasquatch, so he just went. Poop, 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 poop.
That was it. It was probably a Squatch that reported it.
The PTSD. From
they do
seeing the fucking Muppets that he set up in the woods.
They do talk up there, Mike. They talk up in that area.
I will say.
Anyway, I thought that was the other end of the country there. I thought that was Ontario that they talked.
Yeah, you're right. I misspoke.
The British Columbian ones, they or the Alberta ones from Alberta don't say anything.
Point taken.
I will say his documentary was at least entertaining. At least.
I must disagree.
I didn't see it because I was afraid I'd break my television.
I laughed. I didn't
think it was. I didn't think.
Well, I saw a preview of several excerpts from that video. I didn't watch the whole thing, but the preview looked pretty exciting with him like beating through the brush with exciting music. Going,
That's right.
It's like half the documentary.
That was the stuff, man.
And then there was another one of him like going up through the creek, running up through the creek,
on his 4-wheeler. On his snowmobile and his ghillie
someone's 4-wheeler, on someone's snowmobile.
Somebody's quad.
Correct, Matt. Thank you for correcting me on that.
Revving that bad boy up, scaring half the wildlife within a 5-mile radius. Yeah.
And where is
he? That'll get him.
And where is he for Claudia Ackley now? Nowhere. Gone. When that shit dries up,
And
so
there's
does
Alcorn.
Pod.
I think we should have like a public viewing of that new movie that has Tom Green and Les Stroud and Stacy Brown Jr. and Rick Dyer in it.
Now, I've only heard a rumor. Is that an actual thing?
Yeah, it's a actual movie.
Rick Dyer's in it.
Yeah,
I love it. Christ.
Rick
What?
Dyer's the only
No,
one
no,
that's
no, no.
in-
And
Get
wait a
this.
minute. And Stacy Alligator on Brown.
Great entertainers. Great entertainers.
Yeah, and Tom Green and Les Stroud.
And Tom Green. And,
Right.
you know, I mean, Tom Green at least is a little bit of
Has
respect.
that
Get
some
this.
redeeming
I can
feature.
get behind fucking, you know,
Get this though.
pizza.
Rick Dyer is the only one billed as playing the role of himself.
Well, what is that to? So this is,
Oh boy.
so this is like a fictional movie.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
It has to be a comedy.
Yeah,
I'm sure
Rick Dyer's gonna be like Mike Tyson was in The Hangover.
yeah.
I shot myself a Bigfoot.
Is that comedian Rip Torn?
Wow. Bingo.
I want you fellas to go get yourself a Bigfoot.
Right.
What the fuck is going on in this world?
Corey
That
Mathis.
movie is coming to light.
Listen, Corey
Brown,
Mathis,
get going.
played by Les Stroud, a respected college professor, claims a mythical forest creature killed his wife, transforming him into a man haunted by obsession and revenge.
Oh.
He partners up with legendary
the
Bigfoot hunter
transformation.
Fran Anderson, played by Stacy Brown Jr. Get ready for this one. Who is out to collect the Nat Geo $10 million bounty for capture of the creature.
Oh.
Unfortunately, by the book Forest Ranger Billy Till, played by Tom Green, a covert government agency and a serial hoaxer, any guesses, have other plans. A dark and witty comedy with a dysfunctional protagonist, a twisted narrative, and a series of events that builds into a shocker of an ending.
Fran, go get that damn Bigfoot.
I'm gonna guess this isn't gonna be a box office hit.
Get ready to put on the last suit you'll ever wear.
What happened to Tom Green? That
Find him at
he's
the dollar
actually-
store coming near you soon.
Well, to give you any ideas,
Baby suit.
it was actually released on September 10th. So
Oh.
And it went
I'm
to
just
videos.
wondering what happened in Tom Green's career that he actually agreed to do this.
I missed all the limos pulling up in front of the theater.
Bad.
And in
That's a
true
fucking
Rick Dyer
sad state of
fashion,
affairs
because
right there.
In true Rick Dyer fashion, he's starting to come out with something else because this one didn't work.
Oh, you know,
There's no such thing as Bigfoot. I keep telling you, it's all damn. It's not there. I had to know. I saw one. I got all this money on these $100 bills.
Well, I have a feeling that Mr. Dyer is going to use the Matt Johnson approach this time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
yeah.
he is.
I'm gonna get him. I'll get him for sure this time.
God.
Because he said,
Friends.
there's only one Bigfoot. Just read your Bible.
There's only one.
There's
And
only
he's a
one.
big mofo.
And he managed to capture it on film twice.
And killed
one?
him twice.
The one?
Yeah, the one Bigfoot.
Yes, the biblical character that likes to eat
Power
walnut
of
with
Zorth
straight.
compels you.
And apparently, the one single lone Bigfoot of biblical legend lives in Texas, in San Antonio, behind
that
a
one.
Home Depot.
One I had in the freezer. I had to let him go.
Well, you got to understand that same Bigfoot gives tours at the Alamo on Thursdays and Fridays.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, everything biblical is usually in the Middle East, except for Bigfoot. It's in the United States.
Well, yeah.
Nothing
We
like
have to have
that.
Something.
Nothing like that in
Yeah,
Arkansas, huh?
That's right. Arkansas.
We were corrected on that, by the way, yesterday. So
It's Arkansas.
that's the way it is. Queen's English.
With the S. If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out speaking the Queens.
We got a flat tire in Queens once. It wasn't very nice. God damn it.
You ran your ass out, didn't you?
Hey, hell yeah.
That was back in the day.
Not like Kings.
No?
No, it's next door.
Oh.
Yeah. Kings County, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Of course. I just
I
told
want to
you,
see.
man.
I want to see this movie now. That's what I know that.
Me too.
What's the title of this movie?
I want to see what I want to know what Tom Green had to pay for that he needed that paycheck.
I want to splice that bad boy into about 1 million different pieces, put it back together the way I want it.
Is that a child support payment? Is that a house? Is that a late house payment? What
Sounds like another strike on YouTube.
The fuck is this?
What's the name
That
of
was
the
a smoke session between Tom Green and Les Stroud.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I mean, what
and
you
Tom
say?
Green's doing stand up now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know why he's doing this shit.
Stand up?
He's not
He owed
exactly. He
somebody
doesn't
something.
have a bad stand up career.
No, Tom Green's doing all right for somebody that's no longer in the limelight.
Yeah. So I don't understand why he's doing this, but I mean,
Him and
hats
Les
off to
Stroud
him,
are
I
both
guess.
Canadians, and they hooked up, and
Fuck it.
this led to that.
Yeah, sniffed each other's ass. Hey, let's do this.
He smells like me.
So, what's the name of this movie,
Fucking
Matt?
Queen of Spades was the river card, and the next thing you know, they're calling Stacey Brown Jr.
That would be the last call I would make. I'm just saying.
Hey, Stacy Bay, Stacy, we got to do a movie here. A movie. We're going to do a movie.
Hey, didn't
The fuck is wrong with you?
I'll have what he's having.
didn't your father take a thermal, dude?
Stacy.
On that fucking note, gentlemen.
What show was this, by the way? I mean, I just got this thing saying hop on and I'm here. And what is this show?
It's Sunday night, Phil. It's the Fortean Slip.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
well, hey.
Yeah, it's the show. It's
I
the
hit
show
the big
that
time.
Phil. We started out this show a little over 6 years ago now, doing it on your lovely lawsuit with one
Nobody.
yes,
Don't mention the names. Don't
one
mention any
big
names.
yeah, that one.
Addictive bitch.
A little over 6 years ago. So
Remember what
it's,
I said about you losing some friends here, Steve?
All I know is
has gotten a Christmas card in a while.
I had no idea. I was going to be in the big time here. I had no idea what show. I thought we were just on here BSing.
We are.
It's all we
Okay.
ever do.
Okay. Sure.
What the fuck did you think that was? Like a
Well, I didn't
professional
think it
show?
was the Fortean Slip. I didn't think it was that.
It is.
It is. Oh, man.
Yeah,
Wait till mom hears about this.
that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't even get to the what we were going to do tonight, which we will next show.
Hi, Katie.
The title of this show.
Katie didn't even say
Hi.
a word the whole show.
A Florida man. Matt and I have this thing to do for the next show, but we got sidetracked tonight, so I'll probably wind up retitling the show tonight.
Why?
Yeah, exactly. It is kind of a wreck.
Next week, Stacey Brown.
This has been the Fortean Slip episode 100. Thank you all for 6 years of this bullshit. If you like this shit, hit the little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment, subscribe, people. Go check out Matt Knapp at youtube.com/bigfootcrossroads and Cryptid Tales. Check us out over on Anchor at anchor.fm/the Fortean Slip. I usually have the show up about an hour or so after we finish recording. Check out Richard's comic strip on Facebook, Bigfoot with Keith and Colin. Check out the one and only Phil Poling at youtube.com/parabreakdown. And check out our good friend Dred Funn. That's dredfun.com and youtube.com/Dred Funn. Steve, where can they check you out?
Right here.
Fuck that.
SquatchDetective.com, SquatchDTV.com.
SquatchDetective.com and SquatchDTV.com. And Steve's show will be coming up at 9 o'clock. You stream that live on Facebook and on YouTube, Steve?
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and wherever else I can put it, and on the websites.
You guys can find it if you want to check out Steve after the show. He goes live at 9 p.m. That is about an hour from now. Steve, thanks for joining the show tonight. It was fun having you.
Hey, good talking to y'all.
Phil, thanks for joining us. And Katie, you were quiet. What was your wait, before we go, what was your favorite moment out of 6 years out of listening to us and then now being a part of the show?
Oh, that's a really tough question.
The ending credits.
She scrambles for YouTube. Let's see here.
I remember the idea of you guys getting a bus and going on a road trip, and I'm still hoping for that.
EW bus road trip.
Yes.
We'll have to revisit that now that Matt's back on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit that. But until next week, which we will come back with another lovely episode. See ya.